Hello everyone. So today I am going to be pulling up some cards for the 22nd of March. And I'm going to get you guys, if you happen to pop on, to pick a number. And that's the card that I'm going to pull out for you, okay? So let me know what number. We'll say 1 to 40. This one's popping out as a general card message. And happy birthday to my friend Ashley, because she is turning 36 today. And happy birthday to my grandma in heaven. So interesting, my grandmother died at the beginning of COVID. So we know that started, 2 years ago? And then it was like the summer after that started. So yeah, she would have been high 90s. So she lived a pretty good life. So again, if you're hopping on, just give me a number. Okay, Karen says 22. Awesome. So I'm going to keep these out because I feel like this is related to even just the people that I was just talking about. Starting off the energy with Aries, we have noticed the signs, just talking about GMA. And what I get for this card is that it feels like people are really learning to appreciate life based on everything that we're going through right now in the world. And I think that these signs are coming up for more people because all of a sudden we're thinking a bit more about our safety. We're thinking a bit more about like really basic things like being able to breathe, having a proper heart rate, things like that. So I feel like the universe is constantly showering you with signs to show you that you're safe, to show you that you're healthy as well. Because sometimes we think that we're not healthy when we actually are. So we don't want to create unhealthy situations for ourselves when we actually have so many things to be grateful for. Okay. And then the ask card here, talking about my friend, I'm getting the importance of thinking in positive ways as well. So with the number 22 today, I see two people watching. And we went through that 22222 porthole in February, and now we're in March, right, in the third month on the 22nd day. And so I can't help but feel like relationships are extremely important. And so to stay in that high vibration with people, I've really been putting that energy out for myself to only be around like higher vibrational souls so that I can continue to be a high vibration as well. So if you've noticed that old people have left your life, maybe they left your life for a reason. I don't mean old people like people that have passed away, but old relationships. If they're not there anymore, don't try to get people back into your circle if they left your circle, whatever age that was, okay? That feels important. Like we might feel like, oh my gosh, did I do something wrong? And it's also about that karmic energy as well. So I feel like going into this Aries season, I'll pull out that 22 card for you right now. It's interesting she picked up the number 22. But going into that Aries season, it's all about really forgiveness and gratitude and lessons. So make sure that you are sitting with yourself a bit more to organize what makes you happy, to do the things that you know will make you feel lighter. And in my motivation talk I did, it wasn't yesterday, it was the day before. I feel like if you're watching this, you'll probably be guided to that one as well. And it's up on my YouTube channel. That will be helpful, okay? So Cleanse and Detox is talking more about that motivation discussion. Okay, Delia, so you just pick a number and then we pull out that card. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm getting 12, 13, 14, a lot going on in my head and throat. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And it feels like a lot of throat stuff. So please let me know, guys, have you watched my weekly reading already? Because I talk a lot about what some of the things are coming up around that throat. So you have Karen specifically, but it's general, the Law of Attraction card. And so it feels like don't suppress anything that you're experiencing. So again, in the weekly where we talk about trusting, and I was just talking about forgiveness and relationships, if there's anything coming up for you, don't suppress it. It's really important. We're still in full moon energy. So yeah, you want to get that out of you. And again, please watch that motivation discussion, because that will guide you along the right path as well. I charge $111 for my readings as well as my healings, whether you're coming in person or online. So I do lots of different types of services. It's completely up to you. You're welcome, Karen. Delia didn't pick a number, and Jillian saying yes, please. Just pick a number. I mentioned that once I came on, if you don't mind. And we'll pull out those cards. So I also have I'll just wait for that. I also have a retreat, Learning to Trust More. Awesome, Delia. I have a retreat coming up on April 2nd. You're welcome, Delia. Okay, so yeah, if you're wanting a card, just give me the number and I will pick that number for you. So just through the cards. So my retreat is April 2nd. It's from 2 until 5. It's $111. We're going to be doing a lot of new moon rituals, practices, lots of therapeutic work. And if it's nice out, we're going to be spending some time outside. And if it's not, then we'll be more inside. Delia says 8. Okay. Cool. So we'll start from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm feeling a lot of heaviness in my chest and in around my back, my shoulders, and so forth. And the other thing, guys, I just want to let you guys know that my new moon ritual is in my membership group, and that is $11.11 to join. And it will be under my private Facebook group, and I'm going to be going live there. So I do healings and clearings. You guys probably know by now that I do like Reiki, Akashic Records readings, and healings. I do the ritual with the new moon, so more manifesting work. And so you guys get to share in the chat kind of what you're working on, and I tune into everybody's energy. So if we have a small group, that's even better for you. But then when we're in group settings, we can feed off of everybody's positive energy as well. And then, of course, you can use the Facebook group for support. Okay, so $11.11. You also get a monthly guided meditation and a bunch of other really supportive videos, hours worth in there. So you can't really go wrong. And if that's something you don't want to continue, you don't have to. I'm going to be doing the New Moon Ritual monthly in that platform. But again, if you just want to do that one, you can just sign up for that one and just take advantage of what comes with it, okay? So if you have questions about that, reach out. So Delia, there's nothing to worry about. And so sometimes we feel like we need to, I think, take on more than what we need. So that's what's coming through again as a general thing, is I do see that kind of like little crescent moon in the background. It's like reminding yourself that you're human, and we go through really heavy and dark times, difficult times, especially in society and how we're living and where we're living, depending. But I get that, nature is kind of calling you in, where we're in the full moon that was in Virgo. And that was, if you watched my full moon reading, if you join the membership group under VIP, you can get the replay of the full moon ritual I did through Zoom. That will be really supportive. But it was all about grounding and just reminding yourself like of what's important and again, what you need to focus on for balance. And if you get premonitions as well, keep in mind, we get premonitions in a lot of different ways. So I feel like the pro level actually would be best for you in my memberships, because then you can really start tapping into all the hours that I have in there of the Akashic Records, so where we teach you more about the clairs and how to trust yourself and how to go into being more, what I'm getting is prophetic. Okay, lots of stuff in here for you. And I just did this membership group because it feels like instead of paying like $200 for one program, why not just pay a monthly fee and get what you want and get the support that way in a group setting? And then, yeah, like I can just keep adding and you can just keep receiving. So if you join the pro level, you get theta healing downloads based on your energy and what you're saying in the group. Okay, and then you also get the meditation. If you do the VIP, I add in videos for healing tools so that monthly you have healing tools based on your energy as well, which is super supportive. And I currently have the new moon ritual that I did previously and the full moon in there underneath healing tools. I know that's a lot of information. Jillian saying 4. Yes, please 7. Yes, I ground every day. So helpful. Okay. So yeah, so it's just continue to do that. And again, of course, whatever you want from there. But the motivation video that I posted 2 days ago and is underneath my YouTube channel seems really supportive for all the people today. Okay. And of course, the grief ceremony that I put in underneath my YouTube. So please make sure you're subscribed. I have 300 subscribers. I need 1,000 in order to move forward. So Jillian's saying 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, it feels like you have 2. Okay. So we have family. Okay, and I just want to slow down. If you could just take a moment here just to slow down. That would be great. Actually, I'm going to get you to meditate, Jillian, on these 2 cards, okay? Family and innocence, and I want to see what you come up with. So I'll just give everybody a minute, and anybody that wants to help her out. All right, let me know what you guys got for those cards. What messages did you guys receive? What do you get? I will check it out. Thank you. So nothing. Okay, Jillian. So that's not very helpful. And I mean that was longer than a minute. So, all right. If you don't get any messages, I'm actually just not going to read these cards. I feel like I would get you to just write in the comments if you can what you receive from these 2 cards, because I'm getting that you sometimes might like validation, and I will give you what I feel like what they mean in the comments after I see what you think that they mean. Because I think that it's where we're working on trust this week. That's super important. Okay, and nobody else supported you. They're here to help you out, but maybe they still can. Okay, when they watch the replay. And then Lucienne, you have 7. Okay. Okay, 7. So Lisanne, you have heart chakra. So I get a little bit of sadness here as a general theme. And so I don't know if you watched the news or not, but I really got into the news last night. And I don't ever watch the news. But, you know, it's easy to get sad when we watch the news when you're a really sensitive and emotional person. So my guidance here would be I'm just hearing to let go, to let go, to let go. And let me know if that resonates with you. And if it does, I'll go deeper into the card, okay? I just want to have some interaction here. Don't worry about their reaction. It's their thoughts. Absolutely. I like that message, Julia. I believe that is for Jill, like as for the general message and for Jillian's card, right? Her two cards. Don't worry about their reaction; it's their thoughts. I like that, and that kind of relates to the letting go piece here. Would you agree? It's definitely getting for a general theme about how that's where like the grounding was coming up too, because it's true when we kind of just get back into our basic needs, which is our breath and eating more naturally and, really basic exercise like stretching and drinking water, such basic things, we start to notice a big difference. Yes, that's what I felt. Okay, and I love that message. So that's really wonderful, especially when you're getting the family card, right? And the innocence of almost like when we were a child, we were so honest. We're just like, I remember babysitting these two little girls. Their mother passed away now, and which is really sad because her children were still young when she passed. She had cancer, and I don't know. I kind of feel her energy around still. But the kids, one of the kids said to me, "What are all those red dots on your face?" Because I had really bad acne. And I'm like, that is such a kid thing to say. What are all those red dots on your face? So again, the innocence card is coming up because they were just so curious. They weren't being hurtful or mean intentionally. They're just saying what was on their mind. And when we become an adult, we definitely think that we need to filter. So I talked about that in the motivation video that I did 2 days ago. So again, watch that, okay? No, I don't watch the news. Okay. So that doesn't connect to you. Yes, it does resonate with me. Okay, thank you. Oh, so cute babies. So Lucian, yeah, I'm getting that, especially with that innocence card, the vulnerability is really important for you right now to, continue to wear your heart on your sleeve. And if you do that, even if you get hurt, you have the tools that you need to continue to move forward. Okay, because it is better to love and get hurt than to never loved, right? That's just kind of coming up, and I relate that to my parents. I had a client yesterday who was saying that her parents are split up, but they still, because they had a really unhealthy marriage, but they still hang out together sometimes, but they don't live together. And my parents are separated, and they didn't move on with any other relationships for any length of time anyway that was serious, and they just didn't go forward with love again, right? So I guess that's really coming up because it's so important to have healthy relationships. I just feel, right? What's the point of doing it if you're not doing it right? Like life's too short. So maybe that's a message for someone that might be in a relationship as well that's toxic or unhealthy. And that could be related to friendships because we were just talking about that at the beginning. Oh, the dog is sucking because they're both trying to share a little bed. Okay, so I'll see if anybody else is asking a message. I'll have a card. Please, what number? You just have to let me know the number of the card. I have a few here. So can you just pick from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 to 6, if you don't mind. So Lizanne, does that connect to you at all, or anybody else, especially with relationships? Because I'm just waiting for anyone who's giving me a number. But I know for myself with relationships, I've been in some serious toxic relationships, more than one. And, one person, it was drugs and alcohol. And just a really bad upbringing. And he was in foster homes and things like that. So his childhood was just not healthy. And me being me, wanting to be supportive and nurturing, and understanding, I thought that I could maybe change the situation. And of course, when we're younger, we do it when we're older as well. But sometimes we think like, oh, these people are going to change, like because if they have love and support, they'll make the right choices to change and deal with the childhood issues, and they'll go to therapy or they'll get help with their addictions, whatever it is. And that's part of the negative side to the innocence too, is when we actually believe that people are going to, um, I guess, change, because we can't make other people 4. Okay, good number. Everybody's saying 4 because that means I think we need more rest and relaxation right now, as we were talking about the element of just kind of like nature-based lifestyle right now. And so I guess I'm just going to read this card as I'm talking about people changing. We can't force other people to change. Yes, we can hope and believe and all that stuff, but there comes a time where if somebody is saying that they're going to change, but they don't take any action steps on it, it's okay to cut the cord in the relationship, right? Because people have to want to improve. And that happens when we start a relationship. Sometimes we're like, oh, we're totally on the same page. We have all the same goals. And then you get deeper into the relationship, and one person might surpass that person growth-wise. They might do a lot of healing on themselves. They might take a lot of action. They might invest in themselves a lot. And here you have the other person that's just like, no, I'm content with like not really changing at that pace. And then they're wondering why the relationship becomes stagnant or the path changes. And that's also happened to me in another relationship where I thought I was going to marry this person, but then when it came down to it, they weren't really taking any action steps in ways that I guess I needed them to in order for that to happen. And it was really sad to me that we were on the same path and that our path changed. However, I do believe that when it comes to like karma and your life path, at the time I thought, oh, that was like his choices and his actions and blah, blah, blah. But realistically, I do believe that that was part of his path and part of his karmic lessons and also part of mine. And it's what led me into the powerful, therapeutic, healing, loving relationship that I have now. And I truly feel like that was all meant to happen. But at the time when we're in it, it can be really confusing. And so that's why getting readings, getting healings is really great. So we can get an outsider's at least perspective. And again, we get more than one reading. We go to more than one healer. And as you start, we go to more than one doctor. We go to more than one specialist. We go to more than one massage therapist. And as we continue to go to all of these different practitioners, we start to get some real information, right? That's why I was like getting the group to answer for Jillian, what does the family card mean? What does the innocence card mean? Because it's not just for Jillian, it's for you as well. So getting other people to support you and feeding off of each other's positive ideas, again, that's in the motivation video, okay? Don't let other people kind of curb your enthusiasm. So LARP is saying 5. Been there, Delia says. Yes, codependency, absolutely. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I did a human services program at the community college, and in university I didn't get to take sociology because I did business and psychology, so I could only do psychology and management, which left me out of sociology. But when I did my human services, I was able to explore sociology a little bit, which was really cool. And it's still similar to psychology. And codependency, I did a project on, and I really started to become aware of how some people can never be alone, which makes me really sad, and that they live through other people's lives and start to like lose their identity. And so I don't know if people know much about astrology, but I have a book that talks about, depending on what sign you are, but Aries energy, since we're in Aries right now, And I'm that. It was that they were in past lives stay-at-home moms or people who lost their identity as a result of giving too much to others and have forgotten about themselves. And it's really, really cool. And so it's said that for careers, they should be entrepreneurs, surgeons, whatever it is, and like strong and independent wives. And so, but they'll have tendencies to go back into their old ways. So that might relate to you as well, where we are in that Aries season right now. If you're finding that, like, where you are identity wise and where you are career wise, and is that kind of like where you want to be, and does that match up with your soul path? And again, these are helpful questions to ask when you get an Akashic Records reading and healing from me, because you have to ask questions when we're in that space in order to get like really solid information. And I don't know, that's just coming up for somebody, like, because it feels like purpose, career, relationships, etc. And in the weekly reading that I did, I also went into those individual things too, but for general. So Joanna, you just need to pick a number. So Larp says 5, and Nancy, Nancy, you had go for it, right? So Nancy, it was mainly just to use more, for you to use more visualization and fantasy, to do more healings, getting more healings, to really like continue to let go of past relationships, to again continue to manifest. So the new moon ritual would be great, or the retreat, but more the ritual than anything. So just because sometimes we need guidance. If you can do all of your own independent practice, that's great, but often we need somebody to like guide us through it. I'm just learning how to be able to do my own kind of practices independently without others, because sometimes I feel it a bit challenging to get motivated. But again, the motivation video will help with that. All right. So LARP 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have creative project. I was getting a call a couple times, so I feel like I need to get that. So LARP, you have LARP with the harp. Talent, that sort of things. That's talking about just pursuing the things that you love to do. We said that at the beginning as well. But I'm also, and we talked about signs and symbols. So go back to the beginning if you didn't watch that. All the messages are for everyone. You know, this is really about artistic patterns as well. So if you find that you feel the best when you do some writing exercises, then do the writing. If you like to paint, do the painting. If it's, you know, just appreciating other people's artistic talents and things like that, just continue to like get lit up by that. That's what we were talking about at the beginning, raising your vibration, being around other people who are passionate and excited about life too, naturally raises our own vibration. So Joanna, just let me know if you have a card number. And anyone, does that make any sense to you guys? So I'll wait to see if I get a number, Joanna, and if I don't, then I'll take off. But I think as a general message with the card listen and just kind of like going within a bit more where we're still in the full moon energy. Notice kind of like what you feel like, again, you're meant to do. Because where we were talking about how confusing things can be sometimes with full moon energy, when we have a lot of emotions, if we're the only person sorting out our emotions and our thoughts, holy moly, that's a lot, because you have to have a lot of tools under your tool belt in order to really sort things out on your own. And as we were talking about independence, you can be too independent, and that can become really unhealthy as well. So again, we want to be able to go within, do our practices, and then we also want other people to be able to shine their light and support you. And it's about you being okay with receiving that as well. Okay, 3, Joanna. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you have relationship. So Joanna, oh, I forgot I'm supposed to be making somebody watch. Okay. Joanna, this one's talking about you holding on really tightly. So, I mean, we never want to hold on too tightly to anything, because when I think about holding on really tightly, it's about like so tight that it becomes a block. So you're being encouraged to unblock where you've held too tightly. So that probably means something to you. The person's on a unicorn, so it's very similar to Nancy's with the guided meditations and like deepening your tools to connect and getting motivated to do more of the healing exercises and practices. So again, you would benefit from the membership group as well, because then I can, do the guided meditation for you, and all you have to do is follow it. So that's $11.11 to join us. And then you get the new moon ritual in there. And of course, then you get the replay in the Facebook group as well. So even if you can't make it at 6:30 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time, you can just watch the replay in the Facebook group, and it's still worth it, okay? So I'm going to take off now. I hope you guys have an awesome day. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching.